it's the same here. You bad company, little bro. You can't hang here. Getting money, so the keep on coming. Phone ringing, so you know the jumping. They looking at me, he owe me some money. I need that. Hit him with the.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Get up! Here we go!
On 2nd down, Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. 23 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Newton now to throw. And his first pass is incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess. his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now it's Ryan. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Now they got to come up with something big here on third.
Third and long. It's Ryan. And he's got Sanu. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Come on now. Express. On the ball, on the ball, on the ball, on the ball. Express. Hey, hey.
From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Newton. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Za'Darius Smith able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be fourth down. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down leads to 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And his pass incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Third and long, it's Newton. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Black. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. Connects with Sanu right side. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 1:59 to go in the first half.
Let's go.
We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Now Ryan on second down. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey, and he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now following the interception, here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Gano's kick is right through. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. He'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Sit. 180.
Newton on first down. Being chased out left. And this is complete to Moore on the comebacker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Newton on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. From the 50, Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean their magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
21. 22.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hey, express! Gun.
They toss to Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, express! Hey, gun!
They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Panthers will get the football back. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And not much room to operate as they'll get this up only to about the 41. In on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Here we go. Hey, get right down.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Here we go.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball, his offense, they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
23 yards on the play. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Steps away. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Throwing again, Ryan. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20.
Right to the 3.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Throwing on third down, Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And down he'll go at the 25. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And that is incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the 1st down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Dontari Poe in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, Ryan. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Bryant's extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
This is McCaffrey on the give. There he goes inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, Ryan. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, It's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Carolina, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on the, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with the 2 dot team, and who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it.